cuties! Welcome back to my channel, The Royal Diaries. I am Ginger Nichelle, and we are here to talk about all things fashion, fashion entrepreneurship, and just the glam life of fashion that you all want to be a part of. Before I forget, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can get all the latest videos that I will be uploading monthly. Today's topic is about what it's like to work in a corporate fashion environment. I know a lot of my videos are always talking about fashion brands and independent designers and entrepreneurship, but this video is really just to break down a little bit of what it's like to work in a corporate fashion environment. So just in case you are thinking about getting into corporate fashion, or perhaps you're graduating school very soon and you're just wondering what it's like once you get out there, this is the video for you. So first thing I wanted to cover is what is it like working in a corporate fashion environment? Like, what does that even mean? What I mean personally by corporate fashion, it means you are already working for an established brand. They already have an established aesthetic, whether they have 20 employees or 200 employees, they already have an established brand and aesthetic. They're selling to either direct to customer, or they are selling to private label brands, which I'll get into a little bit later. Basically, everything is already established and you are going to work and to design, or whatever you're getting into for this manufacturer or design house, you will be working under their brand, their entity. So anything you create, anything you come up with, any techniques and things like that that happen under that umbrella, it is that company discretion to keep that, and you typically don't own the rights to anything that you design or come up with for that brand. So corporate brands typically have a very strict guidelines on what you can design and what you can't design. For example, if you worked for a men's brand, you will most likely 99.9% not designing women's dresses, because they've already established their customer, they've already have their base, they have their salesperson selling to other maybe private label companies, menswear. So you're not going to be coming in and designing women's wear and giving it to them like it's something they haven't thought of. They will have strict guidelines when it comes to their aesthetic, the brand story that they're trying to tell, their fittings, their silhouettes, their colors. Pretty much everything is already set in stone, and what you're doing is designing into that. So that is a very big difference from when you have your own brand and you do your own inspiration and looking for your own colors and your own customers and your own silhouettes. You are really using what they already have established and designing completely into that. So that is a really big difference between corporate fashion and having an independent brand. So I know I mentioned a little bit earlier about private labels. A private label is basically you are designing for another company, but you're working for your company. The best way I can explain this is that I've worked for companies that have had private label customers, let's just say for Forever 21. So what the designer would do would be to design for the Forever 21 customer, finding their own inspiration, finding their own aesthetic, but designing it for that Forever 21 customer. And then we would fit with Forever 21. We would get the fitting established, get whatever they need. We would handle all of the manufacturing process, getting all the approvals, things like that. We would only be sending them samples for approval. Once everything's approved, we ship to them, and Forever 21 sells it in their store, and it's under the Forever 21 label. It was not under the clothing company that I worked for. It was under Forever 21. So basically, it's really like you are designing under a fashion brand, but you're designing for another one. A lot of companies do that. A lot of fashion brands, a lot of manufacturers do that. Like, for example, Walmart is a very big company, but they do private label. I've worked at several companies that have private label accounts for Walmart. So they design for the Walmart customer, trying to keep that Walmart price point, things of that nature. So there's a lot of brands, stores like Macy's, stores like JCPenney, things like that have a lot of that, where they do hire or buy from other clothing brands and sell it into their store, but then put a different label on it. So it is possible. It's not anything shady or anything like that. It's just part of the business, and you might run into that if you do work at a company that does private label for another company. And I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I just want to touch on it again, that when you are working for a corporate fashion brand, you will be designing under their aesthetic. You won't be designing for your aesthetic. Obviously, you put a little bit of your flair in there, but like I said, if it's a company that their customer is a tops and dresses company, they're not going to want denim from you. So you spending all your time designing a full collection of all these denim looks is not going to work, and they're probably going to probably let you go because you clearly do not understand the aesthetic. So I just want to emphasize that it is very different because things are already established. Like, you do put your flair to it, you do put your own little design in there, but you're not going to be reinventing something or coming up with something completely new, unless that's what they want. But 9 times out of 10, that's not what they want. They already have a customer, they already have an aesthetic, they already know what people expect from them. So maybe they will take maybe some far out idea that you have and kind of sprinkle it in there, and they like it, but they might change it. So that is one of the main differences, and I just want to emphasize that because I think a lot of people, especially looking for smaller brands and independent brands and entrepreneurs, people don't understand that there's a difference. When you go into places like Macy's, you know exactly what you're looking for. When you go into Macy's, you know exactly what, and you know the quality that you're going to get. Versus you going into Forever 21, you know what you're going to get, you know the quality that you're going to get, you know the experience in the store that you're going to get is going to be vastly different from those two places. These companies just know their customer already, know what they like, know what they don't like, so that's why you kind of stay in that box. Also, another difference from corporate fashion to independent brands is that there isn't really a lot of there's a lot of development, but it's not done in the same way that I think a lot of people think it happens. A lot of people think that people are just sitting around sketching in these big, beautiful studios and with tons of windows and tons of this and that and da-da-da-da. That's not what happens. You might be working in a cool studio space, but typically you might be in maybe just a warehouse that was converted into an office or things like that. But I say that to say that even with that, you are not going to be sitting there designing, painting, and doing all of these creative, cool things, and you get to sit there and just think about designs. And it's a really, really fast-paced environment. I've worked at very few companies, and I can only think of 1 or 2 that I've worked at where the pace wasn't extremely fast. The type of sketches that you make are technical flats, and the technical flats that you make is so that no matter who looks at it, everyone can tell exactly what it is. Because if you do look at a sketch that's like a croquis, that's more artistic, it's a lot of guessing, and nobody wants to guess all of that. So mostly it's always with technical flats. So there are different teams that handle different parts of the line and the collection. There are salespeople, there's sourcing people, there's costing people, there's product development, there's designers, there's technical designers, there's pattern makers, there's merchandisers. So there is literally probably a good number of people for a really big established brand that handle all different departments as opposed to one or two people handling everything. That is another like major difference, is that there are multiple people at work within just this company. There's also no fashion shows that go on. Typically corporate companies don't do fashion shows unless it's some charity event or some kind of event that they're putting on, but typically they don't do that. I've seen obviously you've probably seen some companies do fashion shows, like Savage Fenty does fashion shows, Loungefly does like fashion shows when they do like little mini events and things like that, Hot Topic, Her Universe, things like that. You do see some, but typically a lot of places don't do a big fashion show. What they do, they already have a marketing team or a PR firm that handles any of their marketing and all of those things, so there is really no need to present on a fashion show because they already are established and they have customers, and they keep bringing in different customers and things like that, and that's usually what the salesperson or the buyers are doing. So there's none of that. That's really a independent brand type of thing. Obviously, like I said, there are some brands that do it, but typically a corporate fashion place does not do that. So I hope that helped explain a little bit more what goes on to corporate fashion. If you feel like I need to do a part 2 to really explain like a day in the life of a corporate fashion designer, I can totally do that video. Just let me know down in the comments what you think. And let me know if you are working at a corporate fashion brand, or if you're thinking about working at a corporate fashion brand. I would love to hear your experience and love to hear what you have to say about it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on all my videos that come all month long. Until next time, stay cute and stay unique. Bye.